Okay, so probability mass function or PMF. So ano ba tong PMF? So based on my lecture sa previous videos, probability mass function is one of the representation of discrete probability distribution or DPD. So pangatlo siya from table followed by histogram and then ito pangatlo yung formula. Okay? So probability mass function is the formula form representation of discrete probability distribution. So dahil formula yan at function, it is in the form of function. So ang function natin is denoted by f of x, then followed by the function. Since we are talking about different probabilities, then different function, magkakaroon ngayon tayo ng iba't ibang probabilities function at isusulat natin siya into piecewise form. So ang piecewise form, meron tayong bracket, tapos nakasulat dyan yung unang function, f of x sub 1, then yung condition, if x is something. Then another function, function number 2, if x is something. Or pwede tayo hanggang dulo, f of x sub n if x is equals to something. And lastly, meron dapat siyang 0 otherwise. So maglagay tayo ng examples ng value. Pwedeng if x is equals to 0, x is equals to 1, x is equals to 2. Okay, so ano ang kanyang probability? Isusulat natin siya through function. So, linawin lang natin na yung bracket dapat ay sakop niya lahat yung first function hanggang sa 0 otherwise. Okay? So, the PMF of x is denoted by f of x. So, base na binanggit ko kasi 'di ba, ang p is a function of x. So, that is also function f of x. So, palitan natin to. Its PMF must satisfy two probabilities. So katulad din ng DPD, 'di ba, meron siyang dalawang probability, dalawang properties rather na dapat ma-satisfy. Ganon din ang probability mass functions. Pero parang same way lang din naman sila. So una, all the probabilities must be positive. So ito yung property 1, f of x, dahil pares lang siya ng p of x, p of x should be greater than or equal to 0. So, dapat positive. Di ba lahat naman na mas mataas sa 0 ay positive. So, ganon, inclusive pa rin siya sa 0 and 1. Then, the sum of all probabilities must be equal to 1. So, katulad din ng property ng DPD before. So, papalitan lang natin siya ng f of x kasi ang p of x at f of x ay same lang naman pag tinutukoy na natin ang probability mass function. And it must be equal to 1. So, first property, all probabilities must be 1. All must be positive, rather. Then, the sum of all probabilities must be equal to 1. The second property. Okay, so let's have some examples kung paano ba tayo magko-construct ng PMF pag meron tayong given DPD. Example number 1, construct the probability mass function or PMF of the following table. So yung example natin, meron tayong values sa row, first row, tapos meron tayong probability sa second row. Since we are talking about probability mass function, yung p of x, pwede natin siyang sabihin f of x. So meaning to say, ang second row natin ay pwede rin siyang f of x. The PMF will be, so isusulat natin siya into piecewise form. So isusulat natin probability if x is equals to 0, probability if x is equals to 1, probability if x is equals to 2, and probability if x is is equal to 3, then 0 otherwise. So ilalagay natin siya into bracket. F of x is equals to a big bracket uh, comprising all the probabilities. So 0.2 if x is equals to 0, zero point 0.3 if x is equals to 1, 0.3 if x is equals to 2, then 0.2 if x is equals to 3, then last 0 otherwise. So pag hindi siya 0, 1, 2, 3, ang probability niya 0. Okay? So dahil, kung mapapansin nyo class, meron tayong parehas na probability. So pwede natin siyang i-simplify ng ganito. Or in simplified form, so pwede natin pagsamahin yung magkaparehas na probability. So pwede siyang f of x is equal to 0.2 if x is equals to 0 or 3. So dahil parehas yung probability ng 0 at 3. Then 0.3 if x is equals to 1 or 2. Dahil probability, parehas yung probability ng 1 and 2. Then last 0 otherwise. So mas pinaliit lang natin ng konti, pinasimplify natin yung malaking piecewise form. So that is how we construct probability mass function through piecewise form, tapos pwede rin natin siya i-simplify. The next example is itong table na to. So construct the PMF of this table. So first row, we have the values 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the second row is the probability. So lahat sila ay 1/4. Then pwede natin siyang sabihin f of x dahil we're talking about probability mass function. So paano natin siya isusulat into PMF? Ganito. So malaking piecewise form muna. So f of x is equals to, so comprising lahat ng probabilities and values, 1/4 if x is equals to 1, 1/4 if x is equals to 2, 1/4 if x is equals to 3, 1/4 if x is equals to 4, then last, 0 otherwise. So pag hindi siya 1, 2, 3, 4, ang probability niya 0. Now, since we notice na pare-parehas naman siya, pwede natin siyang i-simplify. Or in simplified form, okay. So again, f of x is equals to 1/4 if x is equals to 1, 2, 3, or 4. Then ang kasunod na niya ay 0 otherwise. Ayan. So mas pinaliit natin yung malaking piecewise form. Okay. So this is how we construct the PMF of example number 2. Next we have the last example, construct the PMF of this table. So again, first row are the values 1, 2, 3, 4. Then second row are the probabilities. Then pwede natin siyang sabihin f of x kasi we're talking about probability mass function. Now, iba-iba yan. So, ang magkaparehas lang 1 and 3. Okay? So, 1/4 probability ng 1, 1/8 probability ng 2, 1/4 probability ng 3, then 3/8 probability ng 4. So, sulat ulit tayo ng malaking piecewise form. So, f of x is equals to a bracket comprising all probabilities. 1/4 if x is equals to 1, 1/8 if x is equals to 2, 1/4 if x is equals to 3, 3/8 or 3/8 if x is equals to 4, then 0 otherwise. Ibig sabihin, pag hindi siya 1, 2, 3, or 4, ang probability niya 0. So dahil may nakita tayong magkaparehas na probability, pwede natin siyang i-simplify. Or in simplified form, again, f of x is equals to, ang magkaparehas ay 1/4. So we have 1/4 if x is equals to 1 or 3. Then followed by 1/8 if x is equals to 2. Then 3/8 if x is equals to 4. Then last is 0 otherwise. Now, ililipat ko lang itong f of x sa bandang gitna. Ayan. Then equals a big bracket comprising our functions. Ayan. So, na-simplify natin siya ng konti kasi dalawa lang naman yung magkapares. Still, it is a piecewise form of that example number 3. So, this is how we construct probability mass function. So, tandaan, kinoconstruct natin siya through piecewise form na pwede natin i-simplify. Provided na alam na natin yung values and the probabilities. Now, pag wala pa, kailangan ma-determine muna natin ang probability, then makapag-construct ng table, saka tayo makakapag-provide ng probability mass function. Ang susunod naman na lesson sa susunod na video is about how are we going to compute for the mean, variance, and standard deviation of discrete random variable.